Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the annual Tyler Chamber of Commerce State of the District Luncheon. Myself and our guest speaker have been adamantly told repeatedly to stay on script. So that's what we're going to try to do today, Marty. Before we begin, I'm going to ask Pastor Kim Beckham to come up and say a quick prayer. Kim represents the Church of Central Baptist Church. Kim?
Thank you. Would you join me in a word of prayer? Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this food, and we want to thank you for this beautiful place and this room full of dedicated people who give so much to the city and the education of children. But Father, today I just want to pray for my grandson, Taylor Gray. Taylor's right now sitting at Jack Elementary. Lord, as you know, he's a happy, healthy first grader, and he loves his school. Lord, he doesn't know what's riding on his time that he's spending in the Tyler Independent School District. Literally his entire future, his economic status, his career success, his worldview, his social aspirations, his cultural sensitivity, they're all being shaped by Tyler Independent School District. So, Father, I pray for the 2,500 teachers and administrators who work daily in this system, who love and give so generously of their time. I thank you for the principals, the service people, the nurses, the secretaries, the HR people, and so many others behind the scenes. And we're thankful for our school board, who works so hard and give so generously of their time. And we thank you for our beloved TISD Superintendent, Dr. Marty Crawford, upon whose shoulders the weight of everything that determines Taylor Gray's education rests. And most of all, I pray for us, the people in this room, whose support is crucial to the success of the Tyler Independent School District. Help us to be visionary, help us to be supportive, help us to be helpful and not a critical. And oh Lord, as you know, Taylor has 18,002 classmates whose parents and grandparents love them as much as I love Taylor. So help us, God, to do what's best for the children of this city. Continue to bless the TISD. We pray in Jesus' name.
Amen. Kim Beckham, thank you very much. And as I've applauded Kim in the past, Kim, I appreciate you representing the faith so well, but also not just in the institution of the church itself, but out in the community, in the business and commerce that we react in every day. So thank you, Kim Beckham. I come to the introduction of elected officials, and this is always something that raises the hair on the back of any MC's neck. Because if I miss one, then that's held against me. So I will, at my best, introduce our elected officials that we have today. If I miss one, please don't hold that personally against me, but we will make you stand and introduce yourself to the rest of the 200 in this audience after I'm finished. So we're going to have some fun. The Tyler City Council had a long, enduring meeting today, but I want to introduce, and please stand as I introduce your name, and stay standing, and we'll hold our applause till the very end. For the Tyler City Council, I saw Mayor Martin Hines come in just a few minutes ago. Martin, are you out there? You got to stand, Martin. And stay standing, my good friend. Councilman, the mayor can do that. All right, Councilman Don Warren. Councilman John Nix, Councilman Bob Westbrook, Councilwoman Linda Sellers, Councilman Broderick McGee. A big round of applause for our city leaders. I also saw coming up on the sidewalk our Smith County Judge, Nathaniel Moran. Nathaniel, back in the corner. Tyler, I'm going to hold off on Tyler ISD trustees, Henry. I'll let our speaker introduce all those guys and have some fun with them too. But the TJC trustees, Lonnie, are you in the house? Lonnie Uzel from TJC. Thank you, Lonnie. And I'm working from the bottom and going up. So our state representative, Matt Schaefer. Matt, I saw you back in the corner. Stand. There's Matt. 12th Court of Appeals, Judge Greg Neely and Brian Hoyle. Judges, thank y'all for being here. Is Judge Jim Worthen in the house? Okay, thank you, Brian. from U.S. Senators, representing U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, Jason Wright. Jason, where are you at? Thank you, Jason Wright, for pointing yourself out. And I'm kidding. Who's a great friend. From U.S. Senator John Cornyn's office, Kathy Comer. Kathy? Oh, gosh, and that's where I risk it all. So if I've missed an elected official, we want to recognize you. Please take this moment and stand for us. Booyah! We got it. Thank you, Henry Bell, for the work on the elected officials. All right, so we are going to stay on script, and we're going to move quickly into the agenda for the day. But before we do that, and just to stay on script, but on a personal note, Marty, I just want to thank you. I want to thank this superintendent for always pushing, always promoting a relationship, not just for the school itself, but for the community in general. We have a superintendent under Marty Crawford who has always fought for relationships among the business community to better the school district. Vis-a-vis our Business Education Council. LaToya, where are you at? Where's LaToya? I saw LaToya earlier. She's still taking tickets. I don't know if y'all said hi to LaToya Jackson, and this is not on script, but I'm going to say this real quick. And this is my point before I turn it over to our guest speaker. I know, land the plane. I will say this. Several of us recently took part in Principal for the Day. For Kim Beckham's prayer of how much we depend on our educators every day for the next generation of leaders that will lead this community that we live in. I will say this, Principal for a Day put the rubber on the street. It really put an impression on me and so many other leaders in this house today for Principal for a Day. And by the way, that's a misnomer, isn't it, Moody? It's really not Principal for a Day because we can't keep up with principals for a day. We can keep up with principals for about 2 hours, and that's it. And then we're winded. But the principals just alone know every student, know every issue. And for the past 2 years, I've heard testimonies like this. Now get this, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard testimonies of, there's Jimmy, and I'm making up names, but there's Jimmy, who comes from a broken home. There's Cindy, who we have to take home each day to make sure she makes it home safely. And there's Lucy. She's a little slow on the education, but we're helping her every day. There's testimonies like that every day that we do not see from the business and commerce side that help these students be the best that they can be. It's not just the superintendent who's going to speak to you about that in just a second, but it's about the principals, it's about the teachers that do this every single day. Right, Orinthia? Those are the champions. Those are the heroes. And that's what makes me celebrate and be honored and humbled to announce our speaker today, Marty Crawford. Marty?
The 27-18 school year was an historic year of incredible results for Tyler ISD, setting the course for the future of the school system that shares our great city's name. Tyler, Texas is a great place full of exceptional people working hard to make Tyler an even better place to live.
A few celebrated outcomes 2017-2018 include the Tyler Independent School District campuses captured a district record of 33 state academic distinctions, with all campuses meeting the state standard. The district reduced the number of campuses labeled as low performing from 10 in 2013-2014 to 0 after the 2017-2018 school year. Moore Middle School earned 7 out of 7 distinctions. Dr. Brian C. Jack Elementary and the Tyler Early College High School all earned A's in the state's new labeling system. Birdwell, Bell, Bonner, Ramey, and Owens Elementary Schools, as well as Robert E. Lee High School, all earned B's in the state's new labeling system. Griffin, Ramey, and Austin Elementary Schools, all formerly labeled low performing, earned academic distinctions. Tyler ISD is providing quality instruction for all of our students. Our goal is to equip, prepare, and develop lifelong learners who can adapt to the demands of an ever-changing society.
We also celebrate extracurricular activities here in Tyler ISD. Whether it's visual and performing arts or athletics, there's something of interest for everyone here at Tyler ISD. This past year, our schools have celebrated achievements such as John Tyler's Orchestra, earning sweepstakes honors in concert and sight reading for only the second time in school history, and Lee's Orchestra, band and choir also earning sweepstakes honors. Lee's one-act play advanced to the area competition where they were named alternate for the regional competition. 51 middle school students received all region band honors. 6 visual arts pieces selected for exhibit at the annual Texas Association of School Administrators and Texas Association of School Boards National Convention. And a national silver medal winner in the Scholastic Art and Writing Competition. In athletics, Lee student athletes competed at the state level with one athlete earning a third place finish in state cross country and another winning his second state title in pole vault. Girls soccer claimed by-district honors and Tyler Lee tennis took the area championship. At John Tyler, student athletes earned an 8th place individual finish in the 110 hurdles at the state track meet, where the 4x100 relay team also claimed a 7th place finish. Also competing at the state meet was the John Tyler 4x200 relay. Between both high schools, 29 student athletes received scholarships to play a variety of sports at the collegiate level.
Tyler ISD's Financial Service Department provides excellence in stewardship and service for students, employees, taxpayers, and vendors. We are proud that Tyler ISD has been awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada for its comprehensive annual financial report for the fiscal year ending August 2017. This is the 15th year the district has received the award. The Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. Tyler ISD is committed to providing financial information that's transparent, easily accessible, and understandable.
Making our community great and impacting the future of Tyler. That's the role of our extraordinary teachers and staff. Together, they are taking on the task of improving our school system and achieving such an incredible turnaround. The children and young adults they teach are competing in the classroom. Tyler ISD partners with faculty and staff to lead and inspire innovative teaching that promotes meaningful learning and student success. One of our many successful partnerships is our mentor program for new teachers. Experienced educators work one-on-one with beginning teachers to maximize a teacher's potential. We promote a collaborative community that values learning, focused relationships, which supports, challenge, and grow our staff so that they connect, support, and work in concert with other districts' initiatives to improve student achievement. We look forward to celebrating even more joy that continuous school improvement and successful student outcomes brings to our community.
Where do we begin to thank our community for the trust and support that made this dream a reality? The 2017 bond package provides for remodeling and additions to John Tyler and Robert E. Lee high schools. In this $198 million, 83% voter-approved construction package, approximately 5,000 students will be in new or renovated spaces when doors open, and tens of thousands more will benefit in years to come. Let's not forget the construction updates taking place at our Christus Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. The renovations at this complex are not part of the bond package. Tyler ISD paid for the stadium work out of its general fund, thanks to the incredible management of district funds by Tasha Bjork and her team. Seating was renovated to now seat approximately 12,500 visitors. A new press box About triple the size of the old facility that was used since 1977, now serves our coaches, reporters, and scouts while providing digital technology to enhance the visitor experience. All of the improvements have been made to make our stadium more comfortable for our guests and fans. Thank you so much.
It's about owning your educational experience in Tyler Independent School District. We offer flexible and choice options within the school system. Parents and students are encouraged to consider educational goals alongside interests and activities to help them make the best choice for their future. Here are a few program-related highlights from 2017-18. Tyler ISD's Pathfinder initiative was initiated after the Board of Trustees asked the administration for a middle school program redesign. The initiative also added the middle year grades at Caldwell Arts Academy. Full-time Tyler Tech students at the Career and Technology Center, an enhanced math, science, technology magnet experience at Moore Middle School. Future plans include an Academy of Leadership at Hogg Middle School and other innovation and choice opportunities. The school system's push for college readiness continues to excel, with advanced placement students outperforming the state of Texas in public, charter, and private schools in 17 of 24 advanced placement exams, grabbing more than 100 AP Scholar Awards. That's 20 more than a year ago, and over 50 more than in 2015. Tyler ISD's Career Readiness Program performance is functioning at high levels as well. The Career and Technology Center and all high school campuses surpassed goals for Texas Education Agency sanctioned industry-related certifications. The goal was 37. They earned 352. They also earned more than 690 federal certifications. No matter the student's course of study, our curriculum goals prepare every student for the path they choose with successful student outcomes.
Tyler ISD serves over 18,000 students who reside in pockets of rural, suburban, and urban communities. Sure, those complex communities sometimes make teaching all kids a challenge. However, those same challenges of complexity and diversity can be turned into strengths and offer even more to each of our students. Comprehensive schools, innovation schools, and choice schools all provide rigorous curriculum from outstanding teachers and staff. We are grateful for the privilege to serve our community and families that choose Tyler ISD. Thank you.
Pretty neat video there. Last year we gave the chamber a podium with a step for folks like me and Tom Mullins to stand upon, but this one will work. I said you, Anna. Okay, we. There you go. Embrace it, right, Tom? There you go. Pretty neat. Pastor Beckham, thank you for that beautiful prayer. A lot of pressure. Love Taylor. He's a good little guy, and you're right. My shoulders. That's why my shoulders are getting wider. That's why, right? Thank you, Chamber, for your partnership. It's been outstanding in your support of our school system, specifically this year's chair, Skip Ogle. Thank you for the brief introduction, Skip. You have a problem with brevity, like I do. But the great thing was you didn't mess anything up. You did great. Past Chair Howard Patterson, saw him today. Tom, you've done a great job. If you think about Tyler over the last 30 to 35 years, we've doubled in size. I don't know what our GDP is or whatever, but think about it. If you grew up in East Texas or if you've lived here for a long time, Tyler, Texas has really become a cosmopolitan driver in East Texas. It was way back when, but Longview and Tyler were neck and neck, and we really distanced ourselves. And I think there's some correlation there between Tom coming here in his role and the Chamber's role in making Tyler an outstanding place. So, Tom, there's some kudos to you. And then Henry Bell, one of our distinguished alum who's Chief Operating Officer at the Chamber, is such a joy to work with in pulling this event pulling these events off. They do a great job, and you know, they had a great year this year. Their membership drive was incredibly successful. And I don't know who got Godfather of the Year, but man, Tyler ISD, you had a great team this year, and pulling that off. So it's always good to win, and look forward to the next one. I think I'm going to get to retire like some of the other past Godfathers, right, Lonnie? I hope that I can sit there with you one day and have that honor. I always speak of my family and thank my family. They're not here today. Obviously, three of them are in school or at work, and Elena's at work. But Ashton, my oldest, 2 degrees from TJC. I always want to talk about our friends at TJC and how outstanding they are. She's a practicing RN, and she graduates from UT Tyler with a BSN in May. Graduate school after that, obviously, but between graduation in May and graduate school, we have a wedding in December. And so, man, you want to talk about some fun times in the Crawford house right now. Good thing about Ashton, she doesn't cost very much. She's old school, and so she's having a vintage wedding, and her mom and I were like, yes. Now the youngest, AJ, who's a 3rd grader at Jack Elementary School, she may be a little bit more high maintenance when it comes time for her wedding. By then, I'll be a little bit older, I'll have saved more money, and then we'll be able to have a grand wedding. But she's a student athlete, loves everything about school. She's the kid who begs me to bring teachers back earlier from the summer and not have as long of a Thanksgiving or Christmas break. Mr. Bergfield, you'd like that, right? And I tell her, I said, AJ, that'd be great. I can make that happen. And I'm kind of one of those guys that I can't sit around the house very long either. I'd be the only one working in the district during that time, and you'd be the only kid going to school, I always tell her. And then Jackson, our junior at Lee, happy kid, saw him last night as part of the Red Mob at the basketball games, and we're searching. Jackson got his 3rd concussion in 16 months playing football and had to retire. Was going to have a chance to be a starter for the Red Raiders, or at least be in the mix, and it was kind of a sad deal. So we had the 3 concussions. We're also trying to get into a new house, and then the wedding, all piled on us at one time. So we're having fun. And then Elena does all, like I said last year, does all the blocking and tackling at home so that I can quarterback our school system. So I always want to say great things about my family and what they do. And if they say imitation is the best form of flattery, guilty. We have a well-oiled machine in our city of Tyler, and one of our former partners of the year, and we certainly want to talk about our great relationship with them, and then replicating how they execute their state of the city is how we modeled this year's state of the district, as you can see from the video. And instead of me sitting up here and just talking about all the things that we've accomplished, why not let them do it? Our Board of Trustees. Let me introduce a few of my staff that are with me today. Please hold your applause before we, let me get through that list before we give them an applause. We do have with us Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations, what I call the best CFO in the state. That's Tasha Bjork. Stand up, Tasha. There you go. Don't clap. We're gonna clap later. Tasha, is a good Smith County girl. Grew up in Edom. Went to Tyler ISD schools, then went to Van, and came back and has done an exceptional job. We weren't in great financial shape when she took over. There were some things that were concerning, and according to the video there, we've had a great run of 15 years. Ron Jones, our Chief of Staff, he also has human resources in his shop. I'm very proud to announce, and I know y'all might think this is crazy, but with the way that the workforce, those of y'all that own businesses, it's tough to find good help these days, and with the changing expectations of those that are employable, does present a challenge. We only have 3 vacancies district-wide. That's less than 1%, obviously, because we have 2,700 employees or so, and thank you for doing that, Ron. You do a good job leading that. Assistant Superintendents Dr. Christy Hansen and Raleigh Sanchez are deployed on assignment today. And couldn't be here. So there is work still being done. We can't all just take off an hour and a half or 2 hours when we got to have a school system to run and improvements to make, and appreciate them. Dawn Parnell, our Executive Director of Communications right there. She does a great job and help coordinate pulling this event off. And then Tim Loper. Where's Tim? Tim Loper. There you go. Everybody knows Tim. And if you have any construction questions, any and all construction questions, that's the guy. Tim, stand up one more time so they see who you are. Okay, there you go. Thanks to your support, we've had a heck of a run here on facilities, and we've done it very methodically, and we've done it very in a very conservative way. You can go and look at Frisco and some of the other metropolitan areas that have gone on these building sprees for good reasons, and ours is a good reason as well, to replace aging buildings. And Tim's been your eyes, Tasha has been your eyes as far as making sure we do that on time and under budget and do it in a conservative fashion and transparent fashion as we go forward. So that's two good Smith County people that are maintaining your construction funds that you provided for us. We do have our school boards here today. Y'all saw them on there, but I still would be remiss without actually introducing them. Those members are R. Wade Washman, District 1, Orinthia Mason, District 2. Mrs. Jean Washington couldn't join us today. She represents District 3. Dr. Patricia Nation, District 4. Aaron Martinez, District 5. Reverend Fritz Hager, Jr., District 6. Mr. Andy Bergfeld, District 7. Let's give all of these folks a round of applause. You know, I hate to disappoint, but today is not about me, and it's certainly not about me walking around the room railing on servant volunteers in our community, because my own personal beliefs are not being satisfied. I don't expect a standing ovation after today. I'm not going to be cracking jokes, making a stand-up routine. Today is not for me to stand up here spewing demagoguery to force ideological agendas, even though we would all like to express our concerns and dreams to the state and federal officials in the room. No, we'll do those things in a private space, professionally and collegially, as we are come to expect here in Tyler, Texas. Because today is about outcomes and the people who make that happen. You received the bulk of the highlights from our outstanding school board today. And while other boards not too far from us have received accolades for far much less performance and work board, none of them have governed the turnaround and successful student outcomes as your school board, Tyler community. These volunteers get peppered or sometimes hammered like this spring. And oh, they've so resisted the temptation of distractions that frankly have caused some boards, Tyler and afar, to stray from the ultimate goal of having a school system y'all can be proud of and support. Publicly, I stand here today and say that this board has chosen to hold it together and focus on successful student outcomes, practicing a vision to fidelity to why school systems exist, although some people don't understand that, and are guaranteed by the Texas Constitution to educate the youth of Texas, not to fight political battles. Due to that enhanced environment politically, I alluded earlier, just now, maintaining that focus will be the challenge that this community faces. Y'all in this room. Early literacy, where we remain challenged because of historical and generational struggling, we'll see a big focus from the district's point of view on brain science, the brain science part of that task. Career and tech credentialing, you saw some of the results on the video. While we've seen a big upswing in performance, is only beginning to scratch the surface of what we can provide this community thanks to your generosity in providing the Career Tech Center and our rising new high schools. And lastly, you'll see a big push in advanced academics, striving for even more increased AP and dual credit enrollment and memberships, along with improved ACT, SAT scores, and nationally recognized merit-based student outcomes. 5 years ago, I stood in front of many of you in this room, outwardly confident and energetic, where I spoke of how I was humbly aware of the opportunity I have serving as superintendent of this school system here in what I like to affectionately call the capital of the East Texas Republic. Y'all know that. Returning to the part of the state that modeled me as a kid and into the man that I am today. Little did y'all know I was scared to death. And y'all probably thought I was nuts. And in fact, Ron Vickery, former trustee, and I laugh about it. He told me, you'll be gone in 3 years. Either you've done a great job and you'll go, or we will have run you out of here by then. And saying that, in year 5, we love Tyler, Texas. I was scared to death because 40% of our campuses were labeled as low performing, and really only 2 months into the job, I'd seen enough to understand Reverend Mason and Mr. Burkeville, the real challenges that existed in our organization. Y'all warned me. As board officers, you'll figure it out. I kept asking y'all questions. What do I need to go work on? I said, you'll find it. And I found it all right. We recovered our school system because of a focus on solid governance, the science of teaching and learning, and my favorite, quality principal leadership, some of whom we have brought with us today. Let me pause real quick to acknowledge some of them that are here today. Let's start with our flagship high schools, and let's hold our applause until I get through talking about all of them. Dr. Dan Crawford and Chanel Howard Veazey, stand up so people can see who you are. Stay standing. Dr. C, of no relation to me that we know of. Dr. Crawford, Dr. Dan Crawford. He's from Alabama. I do have Alabama roots, but we cannot find any linkage. So, board, I don't think we violated policy. Dr. Chanel Veazey is at John Tyler in her second year. Dan, you're in your third year at Lee? Yeah. And so when we were looking for new principals at both of our schools, Raleigh Sanchez, our assistant superintendent, and Ron Jones, our chief of staff, said, DMC, that's what they call me. DMC, what do you want? I said, we got to find someone that's half crazy to go run those schools. And after spending a few years with these people, I found out that they're full crazy. Not just half. Y'all can sit down. Let's give them a round of applause. They're off to a great start. Dan, I think yesterday your congressional debate team finished first, second, third, and fourth, and sixth or something. Fifth and sixth. Is that district competition? Regional to go to state, so we got those many qualifiers. Off to a good start. Good job. Both bands, for the first time since 1984 at both of our high schools, received a sweepstakes Division I rating in marching contests. Lee and JT volleyball teams made the playoffs. Both team tennis teams made the playoffs. John Tyler has a big football game Friday night here at Rose Stadium, 7 o'clock against Tomball, as they start their journey to another state championship to bring back to Tyler. Did I leave anything else out? That's enough. Good job, guys. Appreciate you. We also have with us today a few of our principals. Mr. Claude Lane, many of you know. Please stand, Mr. Claude Lane. Mr. Lane's principal at Moore. Two things about Mr. Lane. One, 7 out of 7 academic distinctions. He also received an A rating last year in the state's new accountability system. Demographics are somewhere upwards of 75 to 80% economically disadvantaged, probably 15% Anglo, 85% other than white. It's a heck of a job, Mr. Lane. But let me tell you what the real thing is, I think the most impressive is last year, y'all know we redrew our boundaries comprehensively for the first time in 50 years. And I appreciate y'all giving us the headway to be able to do that. It's pretty calm, but it needed to be done. And he inherited students from all over the school system, but we did close down a middle school, Dogan Middle School, and he inherited and embraced every one of those Dogan Falcons to become more Mustangs, and they're off to a great start. Thank you, Mr. Lane. You know, we talk about some of our schools that were formerly low performing that are now receiving academic distinctions. We have with us 2 principals that were in charge of elementary schools last year. One has actually been promoted to Hogg Middle School principal this year. But Ms. Chapa and Mr. Cazares, would you please stand? Zach and Cassandra, there you go. Zach was principal at Bonner Elementary School last year. Ms. Chapa is principal at Ramey Elementary School. both receiving academic distinctions this last year and a school rating of B. And y'all know where these schools are located. Some of our most challenged parts of our city in terms of economic advantage, along with some other factors like high school graduation rates, along with some other issues, male unemployment. Both of them have proven it's not about your zip code. It's about doing the right thing for kids. And if you go in to work every day to work on the things that we can control, teaching and learning, academic advancement, school improvement, and not chasing everything else and just thinking that we're just going to love on kids, love them to success, because that is the basic thing that we do when we walk to our schools. We got to have a love for children, right? But it can't be the only thing. So thank you so much for what y'all have done in making sure that our children are learning. And the last principal that we have is Miss Vanessa Holmes. Miss Holmes, would you please stand up? Miss Holmes last year, the last 3 years, served as principal at Dogan Middle School. She's now been assigned as acting principal at the Career Technology Center. We appreciate the work she's doing for this year. But the last 3 years, it was a tall task to get Dogan to where they need to get to. But not only did she revive Dogan's academic performance and escape them off of the low performing list out of TEA jail, which is what I like to call it, TEA jail. She did that while maneuvering the politics of the school closure and didn't hear a peep out of the school, out of the staff, and out of the community. And I thank you again publicly, Vanessa, for what you did. Ms. Holmes, everybody. As I close my portion today, let me plagiarize myself from a year ago. We are successful because the community has decided this is your school system and you're going to make it succeed. We are successful because of fabulous teachers and these incredible principals and more, along with our loving parents who all realize the future of this great city and county shuffle down the corridors each day in our schools that you benevolently provided for them. Learn in our classrooms, and they play on our fields, and they perform in our grand halls. I want you to know that I remain humbled by my assignment at this professional opportunity in Tyler, and thank all of you for what you have done in supporting our kids. Here in a moment, we will celebrate this year's Tyler ISD Distinguished Alum, Councilwoman Linda Sellers. However, before we honor her, we'd like to take the opportunity to present our 2018 Community Partner of the Year. You know, Christus has stuck with us. We had 9 consecutive years to where we did not choose them as our health care provider. And all during that time, they never stopped supporting us in other ways, philanthropic ways, the naming of our football stadium, that provided help to our general fund, providing trainers to studying trainers to our student athletes, all the way to helping students that maybe have had cognitive and physical disabilities with Project Search, providing some opportunities there along with the many internships that we're providing as well. And so I appreciate them sticking by us, and we'd never recognized them. It just happened to be that we did switch over this year, financial decision for our school system. And it's not saying anything that formerly ETMC, now UT Health, did wrong, because they're a great institution, took really good care of us for those 9 consecutive years. But we did switch over this year, and it just so happened this year that Christus has been named our Community Partner of the Year. We'll have a short presentation here. I think you saw the beginning of it earlier. And then hear from Chris Glennie, Senior Vice President, Group Operations and CEO, Christus Northeast Texas Region.
The Tyler Independent School District would like to congratulate Christus Trinity Mother Frances Health System for being recognized as the 2018 Community Partner of the Year. Partnerships such as this ensure that students complete their education in order to be responsible citizens who significantly contribute to the economic, civic, and social environment in which they live and work.
We have always valued in a large way our relationship with Tyler Independent School District. And when you think about the description community partner, we particularly love it because we love our community. We exist to provide health care for the community, and we have for 85 years. And partnership really describes well our culture. We partner with employers in the community. We partner with many folks in the community that need health care. We partner with our physicians, and it really describes well our organization. So it is an honor to put those two phrases together to receive this award, to really recognize our very highly valued relationship with Tyler Independent School District.
In areas where we have partnership, as I mentioned, with our school and sports medicine, where we have many physicians on the sidelines at all of the football games and other games. We have our sports medicine trailer with x-ray equipment that can take care of kids right there on the sidelines. Have the Saturday morning free clinic for any student and their parents who have injuries that we're able to help them out. And of course the sponsoring rights through the stadium, and also helping the district with the Project Search, where we're able to invest in students with special needs and provide employment training for them, employment opportunities. Those are initiatives that I hope mimic something that Jesus would do, and that's part of our mission to extend the healing ministry of Jesus Christ. And it goes beyond healthcare. Obviously, we should be providing excellent healthcare to the community, but being a good community partner goes over and above what our industry is, which is the provision of healthcare.
This is one of the proudest moments that I've had in over 20 years of working here at Christus Health. To be named the 2018 Community Partner with Tyler Independent School District is just something that we could not have imagined at any point in our experiences. We so believe in public education and in education for all of our students across Northeast Texas. We're going to be here and do our part to provide opportunities to bring your students in job shadowing, and we're going to be here to support you in the future. And we also want to be that provider that is opening the door for jobs, that when your students go off to college, whether it's locally or somewhere else, that we're going to continue to be that major employer in the community, providing high-paying jobs for students who have found a high-value education in our community right here in Tyler, Texas. To the board of TISD, to the superintendent, to the administrators of Tyler Independent School District, not only thank you for this award, but thank you for what you do each and every day to help all of our students become the future and world leaders of America.
Thank you to Christus Trinity Mother Frances Health System for your time, teamwork, and dedication to the students of Tyler ISD, helping to make a better community for all. We look forward to many more years of continued support and collaboration.
What a great honor. Dr. Crawford, the board, it's just an amazing opportunity to serve the community. I think the video was great. I think if you think about our 85-year history of being in this community in Northeast Texas, it's been all about service. And when you think about our mission, Dr. Scott Smith talked about our mission. I think it is it's really amazing to reflect that our industries aren't that very different. You know, we both have mission. We both take care of folks in the community. It's not always a glamorous job. It's quite inspiring to hear about the improvements and the excitement and the energy and enthusiasm that's happening in our campuses, and to see the principals and teachers. I can't tell you how much that inspires us. So to be named a community partner with TISD, it's been something that's been a passion of mine. It's been a passion of my predecessors for many, many years, and I can't even begin to tell you what a great honor it is. I do want to introduce my colleague, Dr. Scott Smith. Dr. Smith is one of our executive physicians in Trinity Clinic and Christus Health, and has been very, very instrumental in helping transition the healthcare needs of Tyler Independent School District again, just another example of a great partnership. So we thank you very much. This means, as Mary Elizabeth said in the video, this could not mean more for our organization, and we look forward to many, many years of continued partnership with Tyler Independent School District. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage distinguished alum for Tyler ISD and Tyler legend, Henry Bell. Let me grab this.
I don't know about legend, but thank you, Marty, and thank you all of the TISD staff, particularly Dawn Parnell, who does help me coordinate that. We have a long friendship together. Many of you don't know it, but before she worked for TISD, for several years before that, she actually managed our Convention and Visitors Bureau and worked for Tom and I at the Chamber. So we love working with Dawn and putting this event together, and we have done our best to try to manage Marty and Skip through this whole process. And we've almost made it, so hang on a little bit longer. But it is my honor to make this presentation today to our distinguished alum, Linda Sellers, who I have known and loved Linda for many, many years. We've known each other about 40 years, and I can't think of anyone more distinction than Linda herself. So this award is put on by the Tyler ISD Foundation, Tyler ISD, and the Tyler Area Business Education Council, who's run by LaToya Young, also known as Jackson. And this award is about 7 or 8 years old. We got together and thought it would be a good thing to do. We noticed that TISD was already recognizing outstanding athletes, and so there are a lot of people that aren't necessarily athletes that have been distinguished in their careers at all as well. And the awards are nominated by people of the community and within the Smith County area, and then the finalists have achieved excellence and made impactful and significant contributions to their professions in the Tyler community. You've got a little flyer on your table that tells you a lot about Linda, and I will tell you that Linda is the most humble and behind-the-scene volunteer you know. She has worked hard, many, many hours for the community, and a lot of times behind the scenes. So it's my privilege today to recognize her publicly. Linda attended Bonner, Roberts Junior High, the old Roberts Junior High, and John Tyler High School. So she's full-blown graduate of TISD. She's also a graduate of the University of Texas at Tyler, where she received a Bachelor of Science in Education. She's been a small business owner for the past 20 years in the insurance industry, and she is now serving her second term, as you heard, as a member of the Tyler City Council for District 1. She's a past chamber of the Chamber. She's a past chairman of the Tyler Convention and Visitors Bureau. And I can tell you, for when she was volunteering with us more, she's one of the nitty-gritty grunt volunteers. So I can remember times when we'd be traveling back from way in South Texas. You remember that, don't you, Linda? Where she would go and help us convince people at travel shows, particularly that time, Winter Texans, to come back and visit Tyler, spend some money in Tyler, and help improve our economy. So she'll get out there and she does the work. She's also a past board member of the Tyler Economic Development Council, the Better Business Bureau. She served the city in many capacities, including planning and zoning, traffic task force, Lake Tyler Roundtable, and many, many more that you can see in there. Linda is married. She has 2 grown children who are both very successful in their own right, and I believe both TISD graduates as well. And the most important people in her life right now are her 2 granddaughters. I can tell you that from just looking at her Facebook page. But please help me welcome Linda Sellers.
Mine is much shorter. Does that help? Thank you, friends. I see so many good and longtime friends in this audience today, and I thank you for being here. I thank TISD board and the administration for this honor. I'm proud to join Mayor Martin Hines, Councilman Ed Moore, and my good friend Henry Bell as past recipients. TISD was instrumental in all our lives in helping us become productive adults. Today, I hope you'll give me the liberty to share this recognition, though, with someone I met in the 7th grade at Roberts Junior High School. She was my first PE teacher and later moved with me as high school counselor. She taught school in Tyler for 35 years and was a wonderful and caring teacher. She has remained my friend throughout life. I was hoping she was going to be here today, but she had to change her plans yesterday. Mrs. Ann Coleman is 91 years old and still a very active member of the Tyler community. She is the mother of Hub Coleman, and if you know Hub, he told me his family has 96 years of teaching in the TISD. I hope you'll help me welcome today. I think her pictures are up. Mrs. Ann Coleman, thank her for all her years at TISD. I'm hoping she gets to see this video. Thank you again for honoring me. I couldn't be more happy.
Good job. Okay, I'm going to bring my boss for the year, Skip Hogle, back here. I've tried to keep in track, so I'm going to go off track just a little bit, but I have one up on him. I also was principal of the day last week, as Skip was, as Bob Westbrook was, as Nick Messina. Several of you in the room were principal of the day, but I want to tell you that I was the best principal of the day last week. It's because Dan Crawford will tell you, because I went to the best school at Dan Crawford's, and that was an awesome time, from everything from Mandarin Chinese to Best Buddies to seeing every nail that went in that construction site in the mud. So top that.
Thank you, Henry. Dan, stand up for me just real quick and loud and proud. What is that quote that's on your golf cart? Do you remember it? I know I'm putting you blind on this. Do you remember the quote that's on your golf cart that you tour around the campus? Because what? Henry? This is dragging on way too long. I'm sorry. Look, there's further updates. Dan can't explain it. Just follow him on Facebook or Twitter. Facebook or Twitter, everybody. Henry had a great testimony from that day, and there's a quote on the golf cart when y'all toured around, and every student that ever rode on that golf cart read that quote, and it's something that left an impression and for every kid that was involved, and it's something that we live by. Dan, you'll have to share that on Facebook, and we'll look for it later, apparently. So. I celebrated too early. I want to point out I did see Sharon Guthrie from State Representative Cole Hefner's office. Sharon, where are you at? Stand up, Sharon. Sharon has Sharon has served for the state of Texas for years and done a tremendous job that we never see, like the educators in our schools working so hard. So on that note, congratulations to Christus Trinity Mother Francis on Partner of the Year, to distinguished alumni Linda Sellers. Thank you very much for all your service and the partnership that you have with the educators that have such an impact every day. Folks, again, one more time, it's the educators that have the greatest impact on our society. We can celebrate all of our own victories, but it's the generations that are coming up that will be taking care of you and I, that will be making the livings for you and I. And these educators have that impact every day, and they love those kids every day. Thank you, educators. Thank you, principals. Thank you, superintendent, for leading such a great team. And thank you, Board of Trustees, for all your leadership and guidance. On that note, Thank you for being here today. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and we are adjourned.